अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. हरि ओम्. ॐ नमो भगवते रामकृष्णाय. Dear brother Swami Vimokshanandaji, Maharaj, Sri Umanaji, and other devotees who have come here specially for attending the Antaryoga at Mangaluru ashram. Today is a very special day for the Hindus in most of the parts of the eastern India, where Puri is there. You know, Odisha has got some wonderful place. In the eastern side of India, Puri comes, where Lord Jagannath is worshipped. So today is called Snan Yatra Day, where Lord Jagannath is given a bath. So on this day, when by remembering Lord Jagannath, we have come here to attend this Antaryoga. The word Antaryogam is a very interesting word. This was first coined by one great Swami. He was in Tamilnadu, Swami Chidbhavanandaji. Those who have read his explanation of Gita, Bhagavad Gita, very interesting book he had written. Originally he wrote it in Tamil and later he translated into English. He himself did that. It's a very beautiful book. That Swami coined this word Antaryogam for retreat. You know, generally when we say in English retreat, it has got different connotations according to the usage. For instance, you can say the military retreated. It has got some other meaning. That means withdrawal of force is called a retreat. Or a doctor was treating him and now he is taking the patient and giving him a retreatment. That also retreat comes. But then this retreat, that is going quietly in a place of solitude and thinking of God, that has been very much emphasized by our Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. He has been telling the devotees when they met him, please go into solitude now and then think of the Lord. So the Lord's name is to be thought when we are very busy in the work field and also when we are quiet in a solitary place. That's why where I come from, this Yelagiri hills, it comes under Tamilnadu, district Tirupattur. That place, we started this center in 1958 as a retreat center for sadhus. You'll be surprised, nowadays we have got more than 210 centers all over the world. And in some of the centers when you go, you can't meet and sit and talk to any sadhu. The sadhus are so busy. They are so busy with so many activities. Here, at least we have one hostel is there. In some of the centers, we have got a hostel, hospital, and whatever you think of, all those activities are there. And sadhus are extremely busy. So, even for sadhus, there is a need to go quietly to a place. And that's why in southern India, this Yelagiri hills was started as a retreat place. And more than 500 sadhus have come there and done their tapasya. That's a wonderful place. I invite every one of you to come to Yelagiri hills and stay there, at least for 3 nights. You will understand how beautiful the place is. Of course, the place itself is beautiful. We've got plenty of trees and the birds chirping sound will be always, you can hear. And the solitude. Not even one motorbike sound you can hear. One clinking tone of the bicycle you can hear. So quiet it is. In that place, we two are there, myself and one brahmachari. That means you can understand how wonderful place it is. And devotees have started coming from May 2022. And every month we have devotees retreat. And they come, they stay there in the hotel, nearby hotel, and attend the morning, from morning to night they in the ashram. And they have food, etc. given. And no charges for retreat. I do not know whether here also any charges. No charges, thank you. Because I don't like to charge for retreat among the devotees. And the devotees come there. 2 nights they stay in the hotel and 3 days they have retreat in the ashram. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You can understand what rejuvenated feeling they have when they go back. Because of the weather, of the situation, the atmosphere, etc., everything conducive. So this Antaryogam itself says that joining with X something, take it as X. You can view it in any form. That joining with something, yoga means joining. So joining with something inside. So the problem is when we say that God is within us, you look inside. When we say that, many people listen to this. We all understand this as a principle of a philosophy. But we are not very sure that God is within us. So naturally, we go outside. We go to different temples, we go to different pilgrimage places. Like that, we are searching for something outside. This going outside is absolutely natural to human beings. It is how the Kathopanishad puts it. Paranchi khani vyatrinat swayambhuhu. See, the swayambhu, one self-manifested principle is there in this world which creates everything. That swayambhu has damned, has destroyed, or has twisted this khani. Khani means it's a word, very poetical word, beautifully to explain our 5 sense organs. We have got 5 senses. They all go outside. Eyes, they see outside. Ears, they hear sound from outside. Nose, they take the fragrance, smell the fragrance from outside. And tongue, it tastes from the outside food. And skin, it also touches outside and receives the sensations. So all the 5 senses are condemned or damned, as we call it, vyatrinat. Very beautiful word is used. What he did, that Swayambhu, what he did all the 5 senses, he condemned them to go outside. Paranchi. So I said the khani. Kha means in Sanskrit, there are different meanings are there. One meaning is whole. So there are 5 holes we have, this Jnanendriyas, as we call it. Through these 5 holes, our mind, through these 5 senses, go outside and gets filled up from the outside. So the Hindu psychology says, when I see something very beautiful, say when you come to Yelagiri, you will see the beautiful mountains. Then what you said? Your mind is filled with that object. So our psychology, Hindu psychology says there are 3 things that fill our minds. One is persons, that is individuals. Whoever I see, I talk to, I hear from, that person, the persons, they fill our mind. Suppose you are all sitting here listening to me, your mind is filled with this person. Whoever sits here and speaking to you, mind is filled. Likewise, your mind is filled with objects. Suppose you are traveling by car or bus, you see a big billboard. When I came yesterday from airport, I saw so many billboards on the way. I never saw in other places like this, but so many billboards. Oh, so big boards are there. Hoardings, as they call it. They hoard. So that hoardings attract your eyes. And then that fills your mind. So anything in the board, such a big picture is there that fills your mind. So there are persons and there are objects. And third thing is circumstances, as we say. What is the circumstance? Suppose I come here and the Swamis are very kind to me. They treat me very nicely. And the devotees are also very kind to me. Then this is a circumstance where I was for 3 days. Then when I go back, I will say, Mangaluru is such a nice place. The devotees are wonderful. The Swamis are wonderful. The ashram is so beautiful. Like that I say, the circumstance also fills my mind. So persons, objects and circumstances fill our mind through what? Through these 5 sense organs. The Swayambhu, it's very beautifully put in Kathopanishad, as if he has condemned them to go outside, not inside. So it is very natural for our senses to go outside all the time. So all the 5 senses are dragging us. Dragging us means what? Dragging our minds. Our mind is always going out and out and out. Now, this Antaryoga, meaning turning the mind inside, looking inside or looking within. How difficult you can understand when the Creator, the Swayambhu himself has condemned it, Vyatranath. He has condemned it to go outside, and now against the force of the nature, you have to turn the mind inside. Is it possible? That is the question comes. Many people try. Okay, our sages have said, go inside, go inside, go inside, because the Atma is inside. So we hear that. So let us try. So our sadhana contains 2 types, where japa and dhyana. These are mainly to introduce you to try to go inside. Nothing else. These sadhanas, in short, they will help you to go inside. Many times we say, I cannot take my mind inside. I cannot close my mind, my eyes for 5 minutes. I have to open and see what is happening around me. Like that people say, they cannot concentrate within themselves. So, how difficult it is. And they say, this Antaryoga helps you. This japa and dhyana helps you. That's why in our tradition, our gurus will always emphasize on doing japa dhyana. Go inside. Go inside. If you get 10 minutes in a day, sit quietly and go inside. If you get half an hour, much better. If you get 2 hours in a day, it is much better. But whatever duties you have, along with performing those duties outside, turn the mind inside. Any time that is suitable for you, and during that time, do some japa and do some dhyana. So these 2 are very effective means to help you to take the mind inside. Suppose you come to Yelagiri and in that stillness, quietness, you are sitting in the temple and you cannot see anything outside because you have closed your eyes. And except the bird's sound, nothing is coming to your ears. Nobody is talking. In that stillness, your mind will automatically turn inside. And when it turns inside, what you will do? What you will see inside? Some people come and tell us, Maharaj, you told to look inside. We looked inside. Only darkness we see. Everything is dark, dark, dark. Nothing but darkness. No light is visible. Because our mind is not trained to see the light within. There is a very big light. Jyotira Jyoti. The light of all the lights. That's what Swamiji has written about Sri Ramakrishna. Jyotira Jyoti. And it is Adhar. It is a basis for mind, for walk, for everything. It is a basis, that Jyoti. And Jyoti is inside. Hridi Kandara, he uses the word, a cave of a heart cave. He is sitting there. But we cannot see him because it's all dark for us. So how do we practice? That was very important. So what I'm telling you, this Paranchikhani, these 5 senses are condemned to go outside. So this senses cannot go inside. This mind cannot be turned inside. It is highly difficult. Very, very difficult. So, kaschid dhiraha. The Upanishad says, Rishi says, someone who is very, very courageous, very, very valorous, very determined that I shall put my mind inward and see what it is. That requires a great courage, dhira. A man must be dhira. Otherwise, weak man cannot go inside, leaving the outside persons, outside objects, outside circumstances. To leave these three or any one is very, very difficult. Have you not seen people, though while sitting and listening to me, again and again they will go into their telephone and see their WhatsApp, any message has come. Mind is going out again and again. Because you have got a phone and you want to see who has sent me a message. So the mind is naturally inclined towards going outside. And that mind we are going to bring inside. How difficult it is. That's why the Upanishad says, Kaschid dhiraha. Someone, Kaschid means somebody who you do not know. Even Sri Krishna says in the Gita, out of thousands of people only, someone tries to attempt this. Likewise, out of thousands of people who are attempting, someone will really see what it is. So you know that. So that is so difficult work. It is what we are going to talk about today. Can I finish this within 45 minutes and tell you that it is easy to go inside? No. I will tell you again, it is difficult. But one thing comes very clear to my eyes, and that is, it is not impossible. If you remember this sentence, that turning the mind inward is not impossible, then you will attempt. Suppose you decide it is highly difficult, that means you will not take up. Suppose going on to Himalayas and going there is very difficult. Some people say, you won't try. I have not tried. Many people will not try to go to Himalayas now. Is it not? So, when it is difficult, you understand, you won't try. But the Upanishad gives us that entire hope to us. It says, no, someone can attain that. Someone can see that. That means that someone can be me also. That someone can be you or you, anybody. Kashit, anybody. So it gives a great hope for us to attempt to go inside. This is in Ranchi, I was there for 12 years. We have got a TB sanatorium. So I was in charge of the TB sanatorium, and we had a great sadhus with us. Nearly 12 sadhus stayed with me. One elder sadhus is from Karnataka. He was from Karnataka. He passed away now. His name was Durga Maharaj. We used to call him Durga Maharaj. Actually, he was originally coming from an Islamic family. From Islamic family in Karnataka, he came to Belur Math and joined. And with him, I was there. So I used to tell him, Maharaj, outside there is a Durga Puja. Plenty of people are coming in new dresses. Why don't you come to see Durga Puja? He said, for me, Durga is here. He will show the temple. He will sit outside in a veranda, in a bench. So I would go and sit with him. And he is a very elderly person. I was about 50 and he was about 86. You can see, like my father's age. And I used to go and sit with him. I said, Maharaj, today is Durga Puja, Ashtami day. We have to go there. He said, no, for me Durga is here. Then some other time, Maharaj, there is a big exhibition has come in Ranchi town. All are going. Our bus is going. Come with us. No. Here, Ramakrishna is showing me exhibition. He'll say, anything you say, he won't move out. So he would go out. I was thinking, perhaps he may have some physical, disturbance that he doesn't want to go out. Like that I was thinking. Then one day I asked him, Maharaj, it is very strange that you don't want to go anywhere. But people, you see, we want to go out all the ways, all the time. But then he was not going out anywhere. He and his duty, that's all. Then I asked him one day. Then he told me a very revealing truth. He said, my brother, look, by going outside, by attending functions, by seeing too many people, by remaining in different types of circumstances, and coming into effect dealing with the objects outside, our mind is filled with those things. Mind you. Our mind is filled with those things. As I told in the beginning, when I see you, you are filling my mind. Likewise, our mind is filled with those things, and our ideal is to go inside. And if I do all those things and go on adding one after another into my little brain, what will happen? And then when I sit for meditation, it is a Himalayan efforts to remove those things first. How do you remove? Because you have accumulated so much. See, if it is one box is there, I can lift it. Suppose you put 50 boxes here and ask me to lift. Will it be possible for me to lift? I can't. Because there are 50 boxes are here. But one box means I can lift. So he says, the mind is getting accumulated with so much of things that you see, so much of objects that I deal with, and so much of circumstances that I am placed in. With that, it's so difficult to remove them first. Then when I will go inside, this whole birth will be spent only in removing them. So I shall not accumulate anything from outside. For me, Sri Ramakrishna is in this time, that is enough for me. Kuti chak, we say. You know, there are two types of sadhus Sri Ramakrishna explains in the gospel. Kuti chak and bahudak. Bahudak, udara means, the stomach. So bahudak means in different places he goes for eating. Or udak means water also. So many types of water he drinks. Like I'm coming to Mangaluru, I have taken Mangaluru water. I don't know, water is coming from dam, somebody said. I don't know whether it is a dam or it is a good water, I don't know. But so many water we are taking, bahudaka. And some place, Kutichaka, he stays in one place for long years. Likewise, the Durga Maharaj stayed for 20 years in Ranchi Sanatorium. And only once he left our campus to go to another center, Morabadi Center. And there President Maharaj came, so he went to meet him. That's all. And in this 20 years life, he has not gone out. You can see that. Very rare. Kasyadiraha. That's why Upanishad says, not everybody can do this. Kasyadiraha. Someone great man who is fully determined, he can only do that. So going inside is so difficult. But it is not impossible, I told you. So in that case, should we not try that? With all our sadhanas that we are doing, that for that only the Swamiji here is kind enough for the devotees to arrange this type of Antaryoga. In Antaryoga, you come, you attend today morning, what a beautiful Ramakrishna Ashtotra Shatanam was chanted. Each mantra is telling the glory of the Lord. If you can understand the meaning of the each mantra and close and when think of that, it fills your mind with good thoughts of the Ramakrishna thoughts. And Ramakrishna comes and resides in your mind. So he is within us, but we are not able to see. Sometimes we see him in dreams. Some people also, very few people. No, we sleep, of course, very less. About the sleep pattern, our psychologists nowadays, they have analyzed. They say a man sleeps for 6 hours or 7 hours is only in books in written. Actually, you don't sleep for 7 hours. In that, 5 hours or 4 hours will be taken away by the dreams. Some dreams you may remember, many of the dreams you don't even remember it. You don't even remember that you dreamt. When you get up, you feel tired. After sleeping for 6 hours, when you get up, you feel tired. Why? Sleep is supposed to give you rest. Instead of rest, what happened? You are being exercising. What you are doing in dreams. Also, the 5 sense organs, sukshma, in subtle form, they are working. So in dreams, you see colors, you see people, you see many things happening there, circumstances, you see many objects, you see trees, you see lion, you see elephants. So many things you see. So the 5 senses are still working. They are not keeping quiet. That's why dream is one thing. There is called dreamless sleep. There is another kind of sleep. Our Shastras say that is called Sushupti. That's a very beautiful word, Sushupti. In Sushupti, you don't have any dream. Dreamless sleep, as we call it in English. So, that dreamless sleep only gives you rest. If you have dreamless sleep for even 15 minutes, you get up, you are refreshed. It's called nap. We call it nap. Nowadays, the modern companies, big IT companies, they give their employees, go and can take a nap for 15 minutes, they say. And that small nap, where you don't have any dream, and you close your eyes, you forgot everything. The mind has gone inside. Now, this going inside by the mind is, we all have experience. But what is the problem is, willfully, intentionally, we cannot take the mind inside. There only problem comes. If you are highly tired, for instance, 6 hours, 8 hours, you have worked very hard, and you lie on the bed and you go into sleep. You may have, say, half an hour dreamless sleep. So the mind has gone inside. In dream also there is nothing. But that is compulsorily, the body has forced the mind to take back inside. Are you, willfully did you do it? No. Unknown to you, you have been compelled, you have been dragged inside. But you see now, if the same thing you can do on your willpower, intentionally you can turn your mind inside. Can you turn your mind inside? No. I tell you Swamiji's beautiful experience in America. He was in America with one host. That lady hosted him to stay. On that day evening, there was a talk, 2 hours talk by Swamiji. In Jnana Yoga, you will find the talk. The talk title is The Atman. That is the title. So he was to speak on that evening. So morning he was, as usual, he was very jolly. Swamiji always makes fun, etc. to the host. And the host gave him breakfast, lunch, etc. over. And then she went to her room and Swamiji went to his room. By 5 o'clock, he has to come down. The door lower below, there was a hall where Swamiji was to address the audience. He was sitting upstairs and he has put on his robes. That coat, etc. and Chicago coat you have seen. Those coat he has put and he is ready now. Only the talapaga, that is his turban, was not done. So he was making the turban. And when you come out of the room, there is a stairs that goes down. And when the stairs come to the middle point, there is a big mirror that lady has got. Big mirror. You can see the whole body. So Swamiji took the turban and stood there and tied the turban. And then he went into his room. The lady noticed it. Then after 10 minutes, he's coming out from his room, going to the mirror, that is going down the half the steps. And then he's adjusting the turban. Again he is going back. Like that 5-6 times, she noticed Swamiji is coming to the mirror, adjusting the turban and going back. And after that, the program started. So Swamiji came down and he spoke that wonderful lecture is that, The Atman. If you have not read it, please go today, read from the Jnana Yoga of Swami Vivekananda. If you have complete words, it is there. Or you can purchase here also, small book. Not many lectures, about 13-15 lectures are there. The Atman. There only it happened. Then the lecture was over, people all clapped, everything, all have gone. Now the hostess came and said, Maharaj, come, you'll take supper now. She took him upstairs and made him sit. And a few guests she has called, they were also sitting. And Swamiji was naturally as a jovial, he was talking to them and speaking to them, and a spoon and fork was there. In Western countries, if you go, you must learn how to use spoon, how to use fork, etc. When Turyanaji went to the US, at that time, Sister Nivedita taught him what are the table manners, it is called. You can't just go and sit and then start eating by your hand. So they all will look at you very funny. Even our own devotees, I'm telling. There are table manners are there in US. So even every foreign country, if you go, you have that. So Swamiji was making jokes, etc., eating. In one hand spoon, another hand fork. Suddenly the lady asked him, Swamiji, can I ask you a question? It may be embarrassing to you, but I want to ask that because I want to get rid of that question from my mind. Swamiji said, okay, call me. What is the question? She said, I noticed before the lecture, 4 or 5 times you have been going to the mirror and adjusting your turban. Are you enamored of your own handsome form? Yes, Swamiji looks very handsome, no? With the turban. You can see the photographs. Whoever sees will fall in love with Swamiji. Such a beautiful, handsome figure. Were you enamored of your own handsome form? This question stunned Swamiji. He was holding the spoon and fork. It fell down from his hands on the ground. His hands stood like that, and he looked at her with surprise. And his face became suddenly changed from the jovial nature to a highly serious nature. And his eyes became flashing. And the lady was stunned. What to say now? You cannot tell Swamiji like that. Swamiji said, my dear friend, you don't know who is Vivekananda. You told me the topic, the Atman. From that time, my mind was trying to merge within myself. And it was trying to stay in that stage of merged with the Atman. I could not come out. So I had to come to the mirror, show myself, look, you are Vivekananda now. You must speak today. If you go into Samadhi, you cannot give a lecture. So again and again, I was bringing my mind, which is inside the Atman, to take it outside. I was trying to see the mirror, she said. You see, always that Samadhi is a state of affairs where the mind loses its individuality, you see. That is what we have read. So in that Samadhi, his mind is going. How he will come out? See, Ramakrishna had a very beautiful experience. His mind also would go into Samadhi and he was not able to come out. Then he understood, oh, something must be there. So he would make a small wish. Let me take some water, he would say. And then with that small desire, his mind will come back. So this coming back itself was a big problem for them. For us, going inside is a big problem. Now you see. But as the Upanishad says, Kaschid Dhiraha, that who is that Kaschid Dhiraha in our case? Swami Vivekananda. He was one of those Kaschid Dhiraha who could Pashyat Antaratman. He could see that Antaratman. Because he had great desire to see the Atman. We don't have the desire. Avrita Chakshuhu, the Upanishad says. Avrita Chakshu. The eyes which are gone outside, the eyes represent all the 5 sense organs, mind you. The eyes represent all the 5 sense. That means it applies to all the 5 sense organs. Avrita, you turn inside. Amritatvam icchan. Who can turn that like that? One who wants Amritatvam. So long your mind is hankering after objects, persons, circumstances in any form, your mind is not willing for the Amritatvam. Though Swamiji was very happy to call all the audience as Amritasya Putraha, he used to call us. But we are not really interested in seeing the Amrita. Amrita means what? Amritam. Mritam means that which is dead, that which is gone. Mrita. So Amritam is not destructible, not destroyed. Something which stays for, which stays. That's why Amritam means it is eternal, we say. Eternal bliss is there. Amrita means it's a bliss, so that is like a payas. In Puranas you find that beautiful story, how Lord Vishnu took the payas that came from the ocean. When the ocean was churned, this Amrita came. So Vishnu was told, please take that Amrita and don't give it to these Rakshasas. Otherwise they will become eternal. So Vishnu took the form of Mohini and then he made them, by his maya, he turned their eyes towards her and gave the amritam to the devatas. So the story says, so when your eyes are outside, the Rakshasas, what happened? Their eyes were outside, seeing the form of Mohini, so beautiful form. So their mind is attracted. And when the mind is attracted, they are not able to see inside. But devatas were thinking, meditating on Lord Vishnu, and she gave the amritam to them. So by thinking of Lord, you reach amritatvam ashnute. So Upanishad says again, amritatvam ashnute. Vedas say. So this amritatvam, how do you get amritatvam? For that, do you desire? Do you want? Is the first question. If anybody boy comes there, Swamiji, I want to become a Swami in the Ramakrishna mission. Can I join here? Say, yes, there are rules are there. If you fit into those rules, you can join here. Many people have joined in from Karnataka. Many Swamis have come. The Swami who influenced me to take monastic path was a Swami from Karnataka only. His name was Kirtidananda. I don't know, some of the old people might have known him. Swami Kirtidananda. He inspired me to become a monk. So, this, do you have the amritatvam icchan? That is the word used in Upanishads. Do you desire? If I don't desire God, if I don't desire want to take God, just you want to become a monk, we say you can become monk anywhere else. You go outside, you go to Rishikesh, you can become monk any order. But do you have the desire to see Sri Ramakrishna, to get Ramakrishna's darshan? Do you have that desire? That icha, if it is there, come and stay in Ramakrishna mission. So that icha must be there. What icha is there? I want to give a big lecture. I have studied PhD, so I want to give big lecture like Swami Vivekananda. If anybody says, we don't say, this is not the place for you. For giving lectures, you don't need to come. We have plenty of lecturers. But if you want to have darshan of Ramakrishna, darshan of God, whatever Ishta Devata, you want to have darshan, then come here. So that amritatvam ichan, that first of all the principle is, do you have the desire? I tell you, in this hall, maybe 400 people can be seated here. Today only about 250 people are here. But I tell you, 400 people exactly did not make icha to come. These 250 people have come here because you have made a desire to go. The determination is there. So you desired, I will go today to attend the Antaryoga. You came. Some people might have had icha also, but there may be some other hardships, some obstructions might have come to their journey, so they could not come. I feel sorry for them. But okay. But when this lecture is uploaded, they can hear it in YouTube. But is it uploaded? The talks are uploaded? Okay. So you can hear it later. But I'm telling you that icha, that to do something, the desire must be there. Then you can definitely attain this. All the obstructions that we have in pursuing a path of spirituality can be removed by bhakti yoga. That's why Swami Vivekananda is very pertinent to tell us that put yourself in the mold of Sri Ramakrishna, he says. What is the mold of Sri Ramakrishna? You know that if you put some dough and then make it, throw it in that mold, and then you can see in the sweet meat shop, you can see different types of molds are there. For children so they like some ship or some plane, some car, like their molds are there. And he puts that sweet meat into that. And when he takes it out, all the sweets are different design sweets are there. Only Mysore Pak doesn't have mold. They make it very dry design. I don't know why they are not changing it. So that mold is there. So Swamiji says, you put yourself in the mold of Sri Ramakrishna. This is interesting for Ramakrishna devotees, that's why I'm telling you. How do you what is the mold of Sri Ramakrishna? Mold of Sri Ramakrishna, he says, is a harmonious blend of 4 yogas. Raja Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga. All the 4 yogas to be collected together. And how they are to be combined, mixed with, it should be harmoniously blend, he says. That is the word he uses, harmoniously blending. That harmonious blending, if we do, if the four yogas we bring together, then what happens? That beautiful swan is there in our logo. That is, this Paramatman is seen, he says. His explanation of logo you must read. The snake that you are seeing there is representing Raja Yoga. And the sun that is coming behind, and that represents Jnana Yoga. Because Jnana Yoga removes darkness, the ignorance. So sun is there. You can see our monogram. And then there is waves are there. They are Karma Yoga. In Karma Yoga, action after action after action. Never it stops. No action stops. So that is Karma Yoga, and the waves represent. And there is a beautiful lotus flower. Lotus flower is when you see that flower itself. Today, when the Brahmachari was doing Arati, you must have seen, when Namo Namo came, he took a beautiful lotus flower. So the moment I saw it, my mind was so pleased. The lotus flower is, because our heart is to be considered as a lotus flower, mind you. Hriday Kamala Madhye. When we think of Ramakrishna, we say that. Hridaya Kamala Madhye, Rajitam Nirvikalpam. Nirvikalpam. No vikalpa is there. Unchanging. That Hridaya Kamala Madhye, that Kamala flower. That Kamala is so beautiful flower. For spiritual life, the Kamala is one of the best example for showing so many things. Even staying unattached in the world, doing all the activities. How? Like the water drops on the lotus flower or lotus leaf. You see, the lotus is united with so many concepts. So that Swamiji says that bhakti, through the bhakti, you can connect it. Through the Raja Yoga, that is dhyana and japam, that comes under Raja Yoga. Then Jnana Yoga, like this you are coming here and listening to the talks, listening or you are reading the books. These are all come under Jnana Yoga practice. And Bhakti Yoga is you sing the glory of God. You take the name of the God. You see that and see in your own house also you can do this. So like this, all the four yogas, combine them not erratically. How do you combine? Harmoniously combine. Like that Swamiji says, if you blend, in that blend you throw yourself, you come out as a harmoniously blend personality. Your personality is, you have got no problem in singing bhajans, you have got no problem in sitting and doing meditation, you have no problem in sitting here and listening to some talk, and you have no problem in going to the kitchen and working. Swamiji introduced me one person today. He said for us 18 years he is coming here and he is volunteer, doing all sorts of work. He made a coffee for me now. So you can see that people are ready to do volunteer themselves in work. The same person will come and sit in the temple also. So you blend this, all the four paths into harmoniously one, then you are standing as a representative of Sri Ramakrishna. How wonderful idea Swami Vivekananda gives us. So this personality has to be made. In these four personalities, your mind can go inside or not. Yes, it can go inside. It can understand what is Atma, what is Paramatma, and who I am. All these questions can be answered. The problem with us is we are always putting questions outside. Even today, if I say, can you tell me, yesterday only one gentleman, one devotee was discussing with us about the chat GPT. It is something new, it has come. So everybody is enamored of that chat GPT. So he was telling, if you ask some question, it will give you an answer. If even mathematics you can ask history, you can ask anything. So one Swami tried that. He said, give me a poem of 12 lines on Swami Vivekananda. In seconds, the poem came. Not somebody's written poem. It is written by machine, artificial intelligence. The machine writes a poem on Swami Vivekananda. So you can ask like that. So I said, tell me about Yelagiri Ramakrishna Bhatt. So it gave me immediately, it came. And what it came? Yelagiri Ramakrishna Mat is in Tirupattur district in Tamilnadu. Yelagiri Ramakrishna Mat is flooded with lot of trees, etc. Like that. So it runs a wonderful school, it said. Then I said, no, we are not running any school. But it says that we are running a school. So immediately I replied to that, no, I have seen that ashram doesn't run any school. Then immediately reply came, I am sorry, that may be a wrong understanding of me. Don't worry, we will correct it. So, like that, whatever we ask outside. That is the point I want to tell you. If you go on asking outside, when are you going to the answer? The answers will never satisfy you from that coming from outside. That's why the questions have to be asked inside. Swami Vivekananda says, subjective questioning. Actually, I had the quotation, because it's a 4 or 5 lines, I could not by heart it. But I will read you that at least 2 or 3 lines. How wonderful Swamiji says, you see. I thought I should read it to you, because it is from Swamiji. He says, it is the subjective world that rules the objective. So outside world is ruled by inside. That is the meaning. He says, change the subject and the object is bound to change. Purify yourself. Then what happens? The world is bound to be purified. This one thing requires to be taught now more than ever before. You see, Swamiji wonders. More than ever, any time any teaching has been given, more than that, now is the time to teach every human being. The subjective is important, not the objective world. Then he says, we cannot possibly conquer all the objective environments. Suppose it's very heat here. For the last so many days you didn't get rains. You cannot change that. Is it not? Outside objective world, you cannot change that. We cannot. The little fish wants to fly from its enemies. It grows wings and it becomes a bird. That's how the Darwin says how the evolution has started. The fish were afraid of the enemies, so they grew wings and then they started flying, they became bird. That's the theory of evolution. Now he says, the fish did not change the water. What it did, it changed itself. Apply this religion and morality and you will find that the conquest of evil comes by the change in the subjective alone. That is how the Advaita system gets its whole force. You don't steal, don't loot, don't steal, don't tell lie. When you say, why I should not steal? Because Advaita says, you are stealing from another's pocket means another pocket is nothing but your pocket. Because you are he. So the Advaita speaks on the oneness of the individuals. So Swamiji says, now you see, that is how the Advaita system gets its whole force. To talk of evil and misery is nonsense. Because they do not exist outside. What you think misery is not misery at all. Because subjectively you are miserable. If I am immune against all anger, I never feel angry. If I am immune from all hatred, I never feel hatred. If I become completely free of lust, I cannot see anywhere lust outside. So what we have to do? We have to start from the subjective world. So Swami Vivekananda is very interesting to see Swamiji, how many places, if you carefully read his teachings, anywhere Jnana Yoga or Karma Yoga or Raja Yoga or Bhakti Yoga, any of the 4 yogas, you will find he gives nuggets, that golden nuggets he throws to us. Carefully if you read, you can see this. I am very much impressed by this quotation of Swamiji because he says, first go inside, be subjective. That is what Sri Ramakrishna also used to tell. First attain God, then do whatever in the world, he says. So that attaining God means what? Turning our mind inside, looking within. That is very, very important for all of us. So with these few words, I am thankful to Swami Jitakamananji Maharaj and the team of officials here and all the devotees here for patiently listening to me. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.